What's up, everybody? Bevaraj here. Thank you for joining me for this is I suppose this is episode 18, right? Yeah, it's still weird saying that out loud when we're so used to the usual 16 episode seasons in the sort of first half, second half, 8 and 8 deal, but I'm okay with it. I voiced in the beginning of the last episode that there was definitely an underlying concern as far as these being throwaway episodes, more or less. But I should have had more faith in, Angela Kang and the showrunners and just how great the last couple seasons have been, because that episode was anything but a throwaway. It was so good. It was so great. I gave pretty much a fair amount of thoughts at the end of the episode, so I'm just going to kind of dive in here. I did catch the glimpse of the description of it being Daryl Carroll based. I something about a cabin, but I didn't read the rest of it. There were no photos or anything, so I'm not sure what's going on, how that's going to progress the storyline. And again, that kind of tells me that we're not going to get Princess and Eugene and Ezekiel and all them. So I'm wondering now at this point if that's going to end up being, because now we're almost halfway, or a third of the way through the end of this season. So I'm wondering if we're just not going to get any of that resolution until season 11. But, now that we're back and I'm back into the groove of how great the show has actually been the last couple seasons, I am back into I completely trust everything going on in the process, and I'm just going to trust it and keep going with it and enjoy it for what it is, especially considering that it's almost over. Even though we are getting the spin-offs with Daryl Carroll, but still, this is its own entity, and I just want to enjoy it for what it is. Full uncut episodes, as always, are on my Patreon. The link is in the description if you want to check that out. Join me over there. We do other TV shows over there as well. Movies, and I am a music reviewer as well. I do have another channel for that in the description, and there's a bunch of music stuff on my Patreon as well. If you want to check that out, that'd be great. Let's dive into this. This one is called Find Me. Dog! Boy, oh boy, it is nice to have this tag team back.
Do me a favor and not talk the whole time we're out here.
I'm not gonna spook the animals, don't worry.
I ain't worried.
Well, why'd you bring it up?
Oh my God, this is what I'm talking about.
Sing about the river.
Yeah?
Is that where Rick...
Let's do it.
Was that where Rick was lost? Is that where there was the pause and hesitation? Is it the same river? I feel like the camera, there's something different about the way it looks. It's like less grainy. It feels more cinematic. First try. Of course she did. It's Carol. What else is new? She's already showed glimpses of
Catch up to us eventually.
reaching this point right here where it's almost hopeless. But Daryl's never going to be that way. It's never going to happen. Yeah. Not as long as he has people to protect. Is this... No, it's not. This isn't where he was with Beth, right?
Coming?
Why is that so quickly coming to me? Who's that? I don't know who that is. Might just be reminding him of his own past. They're definitely changing the way this is shot, so this is a different timeline. Is that the day he found him? So this is also filmed so smart too, because they have the stream of water in between them that's separating them. So like, even though they can hear it's talking to each other, they are still separated. What was that about? What was he going for there? Standing out there in the thunder like that. It's so tragic, just like feeling so hopeless because you can't save your best friend. Or just recover his body, at least. For the sake of Michonne and her family.
Who the hell are you?
Okay, well he doesn't die, but who is this?
She lived here.
It was a long time ago.
So this is something they talked about that they never introduced to the show.
What kind of help you think I need? Daryl?
It's a big leap of faith by her, especially nowadays.
No.
What the hell happens? We're not gonna find out till the end, are we? Okay, that's fine.
You need to stay away from my camp.
Name's Leah.
And then the name, that's because she got too close, I'm assuming. He was he vulnerable for half a second and that he didn't like that feeling and now he's back.
Why you always throwing stuff at me? I was trying to be nice.
I don't need you to be anything. I want to be left the hell alone.
You came out to him the first time, or the last time around.
Won't bother you again.
Wow.
Right.
Wow, they're so alike.
Why?
That's interesting. I see what they did here. Ultimate loners, refusal to be vulnerable, even though Daryl's
Like you were going.
kind of stopped being that way after a while.
I am.
But when he went out on his own, he was that way again. I'm just so surprised that this is what we're getting. I'm okay, because Norman Reedus is my favorite in the my favorite television character ever. So more Daryl, I'm a happy man.
I didn't have a family growing up. They're not the good kind anyway.
Yeah, they made them
So
complete
I knew I'd have to find my own way.
complete parallels.
My own.
Matthew was my son. I didn't give birth to him, but he was mine. I held Matthew tight. Dog's mama was next to me. The dead came from all sides. There was so screaming and so much blood. I said goodbye to him the same day Dog was born.
Shit.
Who'd you lose?
Where do I start?
My brother. It was an accident. Never found the body.
And you think he's still out there?
Oh, he's talking about Rick. Wow. Wow.
But I'm not gonna stop till I find out.
Immediately, I'm thinking Merle.
What?
Of course, because it's Merle. It's his brother, but he's talking about... It just shows that the relationship that they had... Oh, man. Whoa! Daryl had a relationship.
You ain't gonna talk to me.
Or do you belong here with me?
I don't know.
This show is playing. It's playing with my emotions right now because 10 seasons of Daryl without a relationship or without just constantly pushing the idea of that as far away as possible, and
Happy to see you too.
now they just
I'm sorry. I'm just busy.
give it to me in one
up?
episode.
Leah!
Oh no, no. That's the note that Carol found. She just ran off.
I should have been there. I could have helped her.
Losing Leah, that's not on you. Or Connie.
No, that's on you.
Oh.
Because you never know when to stop.
And I'm not sorry for making Alpha pay for killing Henry, because I was right.
And that's all that matters. You being right. Huh? No, you wanted to run. So you ran.
I just need a friend.
Friends don't have the same damn conversation over and over again.
Oh, is that what's happening here? Because this is new to me.
It's what's been happening.
Well, then you should have just let me get back on the boat.
I should have. It stopped you from running. And it shouldn't have. Wanna run? Run. I know where I'm supposed to be.
Our luck's run out, you and me.
Alright, so there's a lot of, there's something about this conflict between the two of them that doesn't hit that hard. Just being honest. Just because we have been fed so much of this conflict between the two of them. So there's a little bit of redundancy with it. At the same fact, I do respect the approach with it because it's not total redundancy because they did write to the fact that they did write a way around it as far as, if you really want to strip it back, she still is running, right? Like she wants every excuse to kind of not be there, not be home, not be in Alexandria, not be wherever the home base is. She's always found every excuse she possibly can to not be there. And I think that Daryl's kind of channeling some of the emotions that Leah had, where Leah was frustrated with him that he can't pick his home because he's battling between these 3 different spots, whether it's there with her or out looking for Rick or back with the original group at that time anyway. So I think that Daryl could see how upset that Leah got with that, and I think that relationship with her really made Daryl realize how important it is to just know where you belong, which is what Daryl said at the end, like, I know where I belong, which I'm assuming that's basically with the group, with the group. And he's just frustrated that Carol can never make that decision, and she kind of has constantly, let's run away. She wanted to get on the boat and leave. Even throughout them having made up, as they seemingly did, but apparently not. Made up Band-Aid wise, throw a Band-Aid on it, not a permanent makeup. There is the element of her always needing to run away in every situation, which like I referenced before, she even when she's kind of joking about it, we know she's serious. If Daryl would have ran away with her, she would have. And the only reason she hasn't is because of him, really. The only reason. So now it's almost makes you wonder, will she go and make that decision now? Because he was black and white with her. I should have let you go. And I don't think that's him even being malicious or anything. I think he's saying, like, that's really what you've always wanted. I should have let you go because that's what you really want. And that's not where I belong. I know where I belong, and it's here with this group, protecting this group. Even though it's funny because during the flashbacks, he wrote the note to Leah saying, I belong with you. And I think that's just where he was in that timeline because he had just spent all this time with her. They had been together for like a year at that point. And he had been away from the group for so long already. So I could see him having felt that way in that moment after all that time, especially with Rick being gone. And, he doesn't really have any established relationships with anybody. Because he didn't really, Judith wasn't really a thing at that time. I mean, he missed Judith's entire childhood. Well, infantry to toddler to just being raised. So now he's got a connection with her. I couldn't imagine him ever, leaving her at this point. It's just not going to happen. I don't think so. I know if that ever happened, I'd be very upset. If he said, at the end there, if he was like, oh, I belong here in this cabin now out here by myself, I would be absolutely furious with the show writing because that would be him completely abandoning, all these people he's protecting. But that's not the situation he was in when he was in the cabin with Leah. He was in already had been gone for so long looking for Rick and separated on his own situation. So the other part of this episode that was just a lot to take in was giving us a Daryl relationship in 40 minutes after 10 full seasons when they've never even given us a shiny little glimmer of it. They teased it with Connie. The Beth thing was more, Beth was young, so I'm not sure how they would have played that. And then the Carol thing, that's I feel like if you've really been a fan of the show, you've known all along that that's always been kind of a brother-sister situation, and it was never going to surpass that. And they made that, I feel like they made that pretty clear from the beginning. So Daryl's never ever even hinted at a relationship. He's always, even with Connie, like, he finds these odd ways to just not make it a thing at all, though they absolutely have teased it for sure with certain things that have happened with the two of them. But now they just give us one here. We didn't see anything actually happening, but she was certainly undressed and took his hand, and that was a clear indication of that they had a physical relationship. So that is a lot to take in for someone who's been a fan of the show for so long. And, you know, there's... I don't know... Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it in that respect, because it feels like Daryl deserves to have more, like the Connie situation where it was built up, and, you know, we had, as opposed to just giving it to us in one episode through a series of flashbacks. So in that respect, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. I think I need to let it sit with me, because I do think the episode was well shot. I think it was very cleverly written, going back and forth that way. I liked Leah's character, and it's very open-ended as far as her ever existing again. I don't know if they're even trying to open up a situation of Leah popping back in and then Connie popping back in, and then there being some kind of love triangle. Maybe that's the direction they're going in. I don't even know if I'd want that. It's very interesting how they played on the Daryl character in this episode. I have a lot of thoughts, and I can go on for a while, but I think I'll just end it here. I don't really, you know how to put them all together and not go on for another 30 minutes, because Daryl's, like I said it at one point in the episode, Daryl is my favorite character on the show. He always has been. And one thing I've always longed for was for him to have a romantic situation at one point. I do think that they do a good job, especially, you know, after some odd utilization of Daryl in season 7 and 8, something there in between. For the most part, they've done a pretty good job. And here and there have been some odd choices, but a pretty good job of keeping Daryl true to his character. And I do appreciate in this episode that he was very true to his character in every way. You know, he's the loner. Even when she, you know, it made perfect sense of him being the loner and her coming out to him, and him, the way he would react to things. It was all very, very in Daryl form. And that's the way that he opens up after a while, which he did to Leah there. I just don't know. I guess it's just the one episode thing. After all this time, just being hit with it like that. It's interesting. And I almost wasn't sure we were going to get a resolution. We didn't really get a resolution, I guess, because she's still alive, or maybe not. We don't know. Yeah, I have a lot of emotions, but they're all a little blurry, to be honest, because I'm feeling both ways. I can go either way with how I feel about this, whether it's positive or negative. There are positives, there are negatives. And because I'm feeling both ways about that, you know, maybe I'll get more into it in the beginning of the next episode, or we'll do like a series wrap up, even if enough of you are interested in that. Not a series wrap up, but a season wrap up at the end of the last episode. Maybe even see if they play more into this in the next couple episodes, or in any episode going into the season. I would almost be a little frustrated if they didn't touch on it at all going into the end of this season. So hopefully they do touch on it again, and I have a transparent feeling on the situation. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me so much. I appreciate you so much. You know, leave me your thoughts on this episode in the comments, and how you feel about the situation, both situations, the Daryl and Leah situation and the romance that he finally had that we never knew of. You know, that even probably assisted in him being a bit more closed off to Connie, even though Daryl's already Daryl, so he already had plenty of reasons to be kind of closed off. He wasn't closed off to her, but it never felt like he really opened the idea of a romance with her. So, yeah. Man, so many thoughts. Yeah, just let me know how you feel about everything. Love you all. See y'all next time. Beveragy out. Bye, guys.